Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Mehdi. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at 15 10 out of 10 cheap fragrances in my collection that get compliments. Before starting the main list, I have here one honorable mention. Writer for Men. It is one of the best, hands down, Dior Sauvage inspired fragrances in my collection. Smells very well balanced, inoffensive and rounded. Let's see the main list. Let's start the list by Cuba Gold at number 15, one of the cheapest fragrances in my collection. If I'm not mistaken, $8 for 100 ml, but smells definitely way more expensive than $8. I have to say it is very close to Le Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier, but this one is less fresh compared to that fragrance and gets somehow musty at the dry down. It is not a great performing fragrance, I have to say, but man, $8. It is cheaper than water. You can easily overspray this fragrance and then you can get something between 5 to 6 hours in terms of longevity, with first hour of average projection and sillage, and lasts way longer than the clothing, I have to say. At number 14, Cas del Fursan from House of Les Safa. If you're into pineapple note, this fragrance is definitely for you. Not one of the most natural smelling pineapples, but definitely yummy and gets the job done, I have to say. It is synthetic but yummy still. It's all about pineapple, as I said, and amber, ambroxan and vanilla, a sweet pineapple bomb, let's say, to this fragrance. It is not a beast mode fragrance, but I can say it is easily above average on my skin. I can get like 7 to 8 hours in terms of longevity, with first hour and a half average projection and sillage. Longevity is somehow better than projection and gets very great compliments. At number 13, Nautica Voyage N83, one of my absolute favorite cheapies for spring and summer, and definitely I prefer it over the regular version, which is a bit too floral to my taste, especially at the dry down. It is like floral aquatic. This one is like woody citrusy aquatic. We have here more added woody and citrusy notes. In terms of longevity, it is average, like 5 to 6 hours, close to good, and I can get like first hour and a half soft projection and sillage. A great cheapie for indoors, I believe, and smells very legit and expensive. At number 12, Insurrection 2 Wild. Wow. Much wow. It is a very mature, masculine, niche smelling type of cheapie, expensive, high quality smelling type of cheapie, has some sort of age factor to it. I can get tobacco, honey and somehow lavender at the background, but it is mostly about that honey plus tobacco, let's say, to this one. Reminds me of Pure Heaven from House of Thierry Mugler and Serge of Naxos. Somehow it is closer to Pure Heaven, as it has not that much lavendery feel like Serge of Naxos. Performance is good, 7 to 8 hours plus. In terms of longevity, with first hour and a half average projection and sillage. I prefer it for colder seasons. At number 11, Turathi Blue from House of Afnan, one of the most unique smelling fragrances in my collection. Definitely it is like citrusy, grape juicy, and has some sort of sparkling carbonated feel to it. Definitely a lady pleaser fragrance, and it is mass appealing for sure. It is yummy, has that mouth-watering vibe to it. Lasts on 8 hours plus, with 2 hours of good projection and sillage. At number 10, Oud Wonder by Fragrance World. Obviously, cologne of Tom Ford Oud Wood. Never seen any better dupe than this one. Smells identical to Tom Ford Oud Wood. Performance, I would say Oud would last longer on the clothing for whatever reason, but this one is same on my skin, like 5-6 hours. But Oud Wood is like 2 days on the clothing. This one is like maximum 1 day, let's say. If you haven't smelled this DNA, it is one of the most wearable oud based fragrances, as it is not medicinal, animalic or loud. It is oudy, like resiny, not smoky or something at the background, plus slightly green vegetal and somehow soapy, let's say, to this one. At number 9, Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir by Armaf. Creative scent, but nothing new here, because DNAs are here familiar. It is like mixture of few well-known compliment pulling fragrances in one bottle, like YEDP, like Creed Aventus only at the top, like Invictus, and somehow Dior Sauvage. You can get those DNAs, but the creative side is they mix it together in one bottle. I believe it is one of those must-have mass appealing cheapies, as it is great in terms of performance, extremely mass appealing and complimenting fragrance, lasts very long, projection, sillage, everything. I am very satisfied with this fragrance. Just I don't prefer it that much under the sun heat. At number 8, from Letafa's Pride line, Eternal Oud. Name is a bit misleading for me. It is nothing that much eternal oudish here. It is more about vanilla, amber, I have to say, and somehow it is milky and dusty. So I get a smooth vanilla based fragrance with touch of amber at the betweens and drops of oud way at the background. Reminds me of Grand Soir by Francis Kurkdjian, but this one leans like 5 to 10%, a little bit more masculine compared to the Grand Soir, as it has a little bit oudy feel at the background. Lasts on me 10 hours plus, I can say, solid 10 hours with 2 hours of great projection and sillage. Number 7, Amiral Oud Intense. There is also Amiral Oud, the regular version. This one is Amiral Oud Intense, don't confuse it with the other version. Another great job from House of Led Safa. Sure, inspired by the Fireplace from Maison Margiela. This one is on a steroids version of that fragrance, I can say. It is like very sweet, dense, concentrated, loud, sugary, smoky, oudy fragrance. Again, oud is here not medicinal, but it is resiny a little bit. Definitely not a safe blind buy worthy fragrance, but if you are into this type of smoky, sweet, niche, standing fragrances, you're gonna enjoy this fragrance 100%. Performance, projection, sillage, compliments, all 10 out of 10. At number 6, the Tournoi by Al Haramain. Right now prices are reasonable, 20-30 bucks. I remember it was 70 bucks for 100 ml due to hype. No, 30 bucks is more than enough for this fragrance. Even 25 bucks is enough. It is Cologne of Parfums de Marly Leighton, but I have to say it is flat version of that fragrance, not as busy, crowded or concentrated as Leighton. I believe it is more than enough close to Leighton. If it is expensive for you, easily you can go buy this one. Lasts like 5 hours in terms of longevity with first hour of average projection and sillage. As I said, it is not as long lasting or concentrated as Leighton, but yeah, you can prefer it for indoor situations. Now we are at top 5. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, remember to subscribe and support me by your likes. I really appreciate that. Daraj from House of Resasi, hands down one of the most complimented cheap fragrances in entire my journey. I understand if someone doesn't like this fragrance, as it is heavy in the cumin and rose note. It is spicy floral, not for everyone, and has a very original oriental stance. But if you can carry this fragrance, it is a compliment monster. I hear about performance issues and batch variations. I have 3-4 different batches. The weakest lasts on me 8 hours and the strongest lasts on me 12 hours. So let's say this one is the strongest one, and I have like newer batches which last on me like 7-8 hours plus in terms of longevity. Projection and sillage is great for first 2 hours. At number 4, Camra, again by Led Safa, one of the most successful releases from this house. Smells very expensive, complex, boozy, dried, fruity, sweet and loud. One of those mass appealing, sexy fall winter fragrances. Somehow reminds me of Stronger With You, absolutely like that. Spicy, sweet and boozy. For me it has nothing to do with by Kilian's Angels shirt. That one is somehow like spicy, tobacco-y to my nose. I don't get any tobacco here. Anyways, so performance, projection, sillage, compliments, 10 out of 10. One of those must-have cheapies. At number 3, Afnan Supremacy. Not only intense, it is extra de parfum, means it is highly concentrated. One of those long-lasting, dense, citrusy, earthy, woody fragrances. Opens up creamy, a little bit sweet and citrusy. Dried on is mossy, earthy and woody. It is something between Creed Aventus and Hajibat. Leans more to the Hajibat side by Nishane because it is more earthy and mossy at the dry down. Lasts on me 10-12 hours plus in terms of longevity, 2-3 hours nuclear projection and sillage. At number 2, Alwisam Day by House of Resasi. Such a polite, inoffensive, silky, sexy fragrance. It is Cologne of Silver Mountain Water from House of Creed, or let's say inspired by that fragrance because it has some sort of twists and added rose note, but rose is here very silky, pink and not jammy, overwhelming. I think works great with that DNA. Gets big time compliments, especially from women. Women like this DNA. Lasts on me 8 hours plus, solid with 2 hours of great projection and sillage. Sillage is even louder compared to the projection. Number 1 for me, hands down, Arm of Club the New Intense Man limited edition parfum. Smells like smokiest ever batches of Aventus. Forget about that opening. It is all about dry down. It has not that much natural pineapple, citrusy and fresh opening, but dry down is smoky. Smells very dark, modern, sexy and masculine. Lasts on me 10-12 hours plus with 2-3 hours solid projection and sillage. Take care guys.